Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early. Daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through them in the office. Saturday morning, taking care of business, paying bills as usual. If anybody out there wants to get on my schedule for coaching and mentoring, go to my website at skyazrael.com. I'll put you on, or you can go check me out on Facebook or Instagram. Just send me a message. Now, today, Saturday, I have rescheduled all of my clients, and I appreciate you guys being forgiving and understanding about that. We are recovering from a major hurricane, and there's a lot to do. I'm helping 3 different people today. I'm not even taking care of my own property today. I'm helping other people with their business today. If you're coming down here next weekend, the 17th, I guess Thursday, through the 20th, is Biketoberfest. Next weekend, Biketoberfest. It's a major event. By Wednesday, there'll be 150,000, 200,000 people in town wanting to party. As we speak today, Saturday, the town is still underwater. I'm trapped in my neighborhood except for one little route that I found where I can escape. Otherwise, I wouldn't even be able to go anywhere. There's trees down, there's full-on streets completely underwater, whole sections of the neighborhood just completely underwater. So if you come here, there's a really good chance that you won't be able to ride anywhere. You may just be able to go up and down one street because everything else is underwater. People may not be interested in you being here. A lot of stores may be closed and people may be very annoyed. They may not be like, welcome bikers. They may just be like, what? What do you want? And you'll be like, oh man, everybody in Daytona's a dick. Well, you're damn right we're dicks, because we're all trying to figure out how to put our homes back together and our lives back together. So if I was you, you'd do what you want. Come down here and try to have fun, go sit in your hotel and watch Netflix, because that's probably all you're gonna do. I would reschedule. I would cancel. You're a fool. You're an idiot for coming down here. I mean, well, I just want to ride. That's what a lot of people are saying. I'm sure. I just want to ride. Our town is damaged and injured. And you little narcissist idiots just want to ride. Go ride in your own fucking town. We don't need you here right now. But this is just my opinion. Have fun. If you come down here, have fun. I don't know what you're going to do. I don't know what you'll do. Let's just philosophize about the revolution. Let's talk about the revolution. Now, you know this isn't a political channel. Anybody who wants to feel like a smart guy and post some 6-paragraph rant on my videos explaining to me their politics will be blocked and banned and deleted instantly. This is not a democracy here on this channel. I run it, I monitor it, I delete all comments that I don't like. I block anybody that I just even get a weird vibe from. You're gone, I don't need you. I'm not monetized on this channel. I have 2 other jobs that pay me pretty damn well. I could give a fuck about any of this shit. I didn't start YouTube to be your fucking whore. But let's just get into it. You guys have heard the song, maybe you haven't. If you haven't, you should go listen to it. The revolution will not be televised. Gil Scott-Heron was a good dude, man. I met him once. I can't say that I was buddies with him. We weren't bros, but I met him once. And I was at his house for a jam session, and he had about 20 Latin jazz percussionists and musicians in his house, just jamming. And I was there with a friend who was a professional musician and invited me to this jam session, and I was very unmusically inclined. I'm not good at playing music. I'm a good listener. And I sat there and bopped my head, and I was the only one in the room that wasn't playing an instrument. And somebody gave me these wooden sticks where you clank them together, just like a percussion instrument, these 2 wooden sticks, and they make a pretty solid sound when you clank them together, when you knock them together. But I couldn't stay on beat. I guess just being a white boy, punk rock white boy, I couldn't stay on beat. So somebody snatched those out of my hand pretty quick, and then they handed me a tambourine, and I'm sitting there with the tambourine, and then the tambourine got snatched out of my hand pretty quick, and then they gave me a gourd with these beads on it. They're just trying to find something that nobody could hear, but they wanted to include me. It was pretty funny. But the revolution will not be televised was not only just a decent song by Gil Scott-Heron, but became kind of a philosophy that no matter what technology was going on in the stores, and no matter how everybody's glued to the TV or whatever screen you're watching, you won't find the revolution there. You won't find it on the news. You won't find it on YouTube or on TikTok. There aren't going to be content creators out there with their cell phones filming like they're at a festival or a protest. You won't find the revolution online, on a screen. You can search in Google, revolution, pictures, videos. You won't find it. Nobody is going to film it. It's not going to be televised. It's going to be an inner revolution, an individual inner revolution. Each man will be faced with his own monsters, with his own path forward. Will you choose weakness or strength? Will you choose good or evil? God or the devil? We're seeing this play out all over. Maybe you have some friends or a friend that has suddenly tried to stop drinking and stop sleeping around with random sluts, and maybe he's being more disciplined and eating better and praying and talking about weird stuff instead of the same nonsensical bullshit that you always talk about. And you're like, man, what's up with him? That's an inner revolution. And that's how it's happening. And it's not just a bunch of people finding God, although that's part of it. And it's not just a bunch of people jumping on the self-help bandwagon, but that is absolutely part of it. And it's not just a bunch of people with positivity wanting to band together in some sort of communal, tribal handhold of kumbaya, but that's part of it. Because when you start to get on a program of strength and discipline and positivity and spirituality, you hold doors open for people. You see dudes in line and you're like, what's up, brother? You give encouragement to the weaker ones. You start to see the whole world in a different way. No, the revolution won't be televised. It'll be inside of you. And the revolution won't be for everyone. The American Revolution only had, well, I'd have to Google it, but somewhere around 4% or less of the actual population. Now, the population of the country, of the colonies, were rather small back then. I don't know how many people were there. It may have only been 1 million or 2 people in the entire continent back in those times, but a tiny little fraction of people decided to get together and fight against the largest empire in the world, the British Empire. The vast majority, and this is a fact, the vast majority of all Americans were actually rather apathetic to who the government was and to the revolution as a whole. It wasn't World War II where they were like, let's go fight the Nazis and let's all go enlist. It was a tiny little fraction of people. And that's usually how revolutions happen. A tiny little fraction of people wake up and say, wow, there needs to be some change. And that's happening individually. And these people may seem like weirdos. You know who surprised me? Was Russell Brand. Russell Brand, I don't know what you guys think of him, but I don't really find him funny. And he's got a particularly annoying type of British accent. I don't know if it's Cockney, but where he's from in England, that sound goes in my ear and it just sounds like sandpaper. He needs to do some My Fair Lady training. You know, the rain in Spain falls gently on the plain. And And he was a man whore and a partier and like the king of the party. He was the life of the party, and everybody in Hollywood knew it. I'm sure Russell Brand was at all the P. Diddy parties, and that may come out soon. But he's turned into a Catholic. He got baptized in a very public way, and he now talks about religion and morality and virtue, and he's got a family, a wife, and kids. And hey, I'm impressed with that type of transformation, and I'm just using his name as an example because it's somebody that you've probably heard of, but I could talk about my buddy down the street who's going through the same thing. I'm impressed with people who can do that, with a man who can do that, who can have some discipline and restraint and to start thinking about the future, because that's what that is. When you go through this inner revolution, you're preparing yourself for the future. You're preparing yourself for the end. Not everybody's going to make it. Food for thought.